some big breaking news which is coming in. 4 meetings, one message coming out that India will indeed punish terror sponsors and the perpetrators of the Pahalgam carnage. In fact, the Cabinet Committee on Security, or the CCS, meeting was held for a second time after the Pahalgam terror attack. After the CCS meeting, of which you can see the pictures there, 3 high-level back-to-back meetings are also on the agenda. These meetings are going to signal India's strategic, political and military preparedness when it comes to the greatest enemy, which is anticipating a crushing blow. Now, at the Cabinet Committee on the Security meeting, the focus was on immediate counter-terror measures and strategic options. In fact, let me go across to Pragya, who's joining us outside 7 LKM, where the CCS is happening, as well as Pradeep Datta is joining us, our senior editor. Pragya, I'm going to come to you first. Any kind of inside details you can share with us? The CCS, even as we speak, is being held right behind you at 7 LKM, which has become the war room of sorts. What's happening?
Well, I would say that, the meetings are still going on and all the ministers are inside. And there had been many decisions, decisive decisions, I would say, have been taken by the government, like putting the Indus Valley Treaty in abeyance, also sending back all the Pakistani nationals. Apart from that, no talks with the Pakistan at all. There are several measures, diplomatic downgrading of Pakistan in India. All of these measures have been taken by the government, and that will be, communicated with all the ministers also present. Apart from that, there are other measures that the government is also planning. So government maybe also is likely to have a strategy in place, and also coordinated effort will be made by various ministries to ensure whatever the decision the government is set to take in wake of Pahalgam terror strike, as vengeance has been pledged by none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a calculated response to that terror strike in Pahalgam. We are given to understand that there will be a discussion and also suggestions will be taken. Many secretaries are also present in the meeting. In case the government needs any more information or any preparation on any front, be it economy, be it trade, be it diplomatic ties, foreign policy, everything is going to be considered and discussed. It's a very significant meeting. I would say that there is a messaging that Prime Minister is giving from particularly 7 LKM right now, that India is gearing up and there will be action very soon, and we are ready from all fronts. We have attacked Pakistan on multi-pronged fronts, like keeping in abeyance the Treaty of Indus water. Water is also a lifeline to Pakistan. 80% of the population, agriculture is based on that water. So all of that is going to be discussed, and also in wake of these decisions that the government has taken, there is a calibrated move by, I would say, there is a calibrated move by all the ministries, and this is why this coordination meeting is taking place, along with, they also understand what is the intent of the government, and they can work in that direction after getting direction from none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Pragya, do stay on with us. Let's give our viewers a sense of who all is inside and what may be on the agenda for the CCS. In fact, let's tell you what really had happened after the first CCS meeting. Remember, this right after the Pahalgam attack had happened on the 23rd of April, and this was a day after the terror strike had happened. What came out of it? Well, the outcome of this was that 5 big diplomatic strikes had happened that decided to snap off the water of Indus. The decision was also taken to ensure that those with Indian visas of Pakistani origins are going to be asked to leave, like several other steps. The second CCS meeting, this is what is on right now, even as we speak. This is a day after the Prime Minister gave the forces free hand. Right here on Times Now, we told you what had happened in the high-level security meeting which happened at 7 LKM last night. Following this, today morning at 11 a.m., this is when the CCS meeting began. What's going to be the action coming out of it? Well, we are going to let you know. In fact, let's also tell our viewers who all are part of this meeting. There you have it on your screens. You, of course, have the CCS, which is chaired by Prime Minister Modi himself, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, Union Home Minister Amit Shah was also there, Finance Minister, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Nirmala Sitharaman. You have the Cabinet Secretary, the Defence Secretaries, all of them are going to be present to ensure that there is going to be an understanding about India's way forward, which may just involve several different ministries. The second meeting, which is being held today, who's going to be part of the CCPA meeting, which is going to be held. Well, the CCPA meeting is going to have the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari. You have the Health Minister, the Finance Minister, you have the senior union ministers who are all going to be part of the Cabinet Committee meeting. Now, let's also tell you about the EAC meeting, which is also going to be significant. That's the third meeting which has been lined up. This is the Cabinet's Economic Affairs Committee, and this is going to be very significant, which is going to happen. This is going to be the fourth meeting which is going to happen, which will be the Cabinet meeting. All of these meetings, one after the other, have been lined up. But the significance of it all, that the topmost generals of the Modi cabinet have gone into a huddle. Let me go across to Pradeep Datta. India's in action mode. Yes, we cannot go into any of the operational details. The war rooms in India have been abuzz, but there isn't a whisper which is coming out from these rooms. But give us a sense of the options which are ready for India and the preparedness of these huddles that they have given now to the significance of it.
Yes, Meghna, you rightly said that during the last 24 hours, we have seen that there have been a series of meetings, and today also there are 3-4 more meetings lined up. And the message from this meeting is one thing is clear, that Indians' blood is not cheap. And second thing is that a message to the Pakistani deep state that you are not dealing with sheep state. This is Narendra Modi's India. That means you will be made to pay for the sins that you have committed by killing 26 of our unarmed tourists in Pahalgam area. So there had been meeting yesterday. During that meeting, Prime Minister has expressed his full faith in the Indian armed forces. He has said that Indian armed forces are free enough to take the decision. They have to decide about the target as well as about the timing. And he said the idea is basically they want to crush terrorism, and they want to see that the terrorists are not able to raise their ugly head. Yes, there are several options right now before India that India can take, because one is that they can go for this kind of a surgical strike, the one they had conducted by the ground forces in 2016, and within 12 days of the Uri attack, we have seen that how surgical strike was conducted, and they were able to enter inside the Pakistan territory, and they were able to target many of those launch pads. India has already sent the message loud and clear to the commanders on the ground. See, they keep on violating line of control, because they keep on pushing terrorists into this side. So this line of control is no more sacrosanct for you. You can cross line of control anytime when you want to target any of their terror training camps or terror factories. Either there can be Balakot kind of a surgical strike. That strike was carried out just 12 days after Pulwama bombing. And why the CCPA meeting is really very important, Meghna, right now. I'm also at the Prime Minister's residence, and we have seen that how everybody has rolled down their heads. They are discussing about the various diplomatic and military strategies right now, and all the top brains of the countries are there. And why this meeting is important, because this is not a routine meeting. It's also called the Super Cabinet, because Super Cabinet last time was held after Pulwama bombing, and within days of the Super Cabinet we saw that how that Balakot strike was carried out. So it will not be wrong if I say, Meghna, today final countdown has already begun. Anything can happen anytime. They can even go for Osama bin Laden kind of operation, what the United States of America had launched in Abbottabad, where they were able to get rid of world's most wanted.
Absolutely.
And similar kind of operation can be launched. They can go for Hafiz Saeed, they can go for Masood Azhar. That's why Pakistan is trampling and trying to keep his strategic assets, what these terror organization leaders are.
Absolutely.
They are taking them to safer places.
This has clearly made Pakistan rattled, and it has been making careless statements. It's gone into a huddle itself, and its top assets, of course, the terror bosses who are sitting in Pakistan, are known to have fled their locations and keep changing. Meanwhile, what's happening back home? Well, the war rooms in India, as we've been telling you, have been abuzz with activities. In fact, just yesterday, Prime Minister Modi met his war cabinet as well and told them that the armed forces have complete operational freedom to decide on the targets as well as the timing of India's response to the terror attack. But as the country gears up to avenge the killing of 26 civilians, Prime Minister has also dropped a big hint when it comes to the government's preparedness to thwart terrorism and its backers. In fact, Prime Minister has spoken of limited time and big goals. And while he added that his statement was not in the current context, the message that was left has been left unsaid. It resonated with the audience, who applauded wholeheartedly. Watch this.
साथियों,
which have happened, the Prime Minister and what he's supposed to have said when he gave a free hand to the forces. In fact, he's believed to have said, as per sources, that national resolve is against terror, and that is going to be very significant. Also, he has said that the deal-crushing blow must be given to terrorism as well. Another one of the things that the Prime Minister has said. He's also said there's full faith in the Indian armed forces and their capabilities, the Prime Minister has said. He goes on to say that there should be complete operational freedom which is given to the armed forces. Now, this is going to be very significant, that essentially it is going to be the armed forces who are going to decide as to how this operation is going to be carried out to punish the perpetrators of the Pahalgam attack at the time of their choosing and a place of their choosing. Meanwhile, there have been a slew of meetings which have happened since the Pahalgam attack. Let's get you the chronology of the meetings. The first meeting which had happened was on 23rd of April. This was a meeting of the CCS, of course, chaired by the Prime Minister, right after he cut short his official trip and returned back to India. On 27th of April, he met, the Raksha Mantri met the CDS as well. You can see a picture from there. On 29th of April, you had a key security meeting, which was at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 LKM. You had the top bosses who were there. And of course, this was the Tri-Services Chief also who were present in this meeting. And today, you have the second meeting of the CCS, which is currently happening even as we speak. You have a cabinet meeting also lined up. You have the CCEA meeting also, which is going to be held. So you have 3 to 4 big meetings which are going to happen tonight. Meanwhile, let's take a look at how Pakistan is paying the price for Pahalgam. Well, Times now has accessed satellite images from the 26th of April and 29th of April. In fact, what you can see on your screens right now are the images of Chenab in Pakistan's Sialkot sector. These satellite images show how India's Indus water punishment is now actually coming to light, and it has been drying up the rivers in Pakistan. Right after the river was snapped off, you can see for yourself this deeper color that you can see of brown is the river, and you can see in the satellite image merely 3 days later on the 29th of April how this river, this water has all dried down and it has now become a dull grey. This is the Chenab River in Pakistan, a satellite image of that. Let me in fact go across to Rishabh, who's joining us with Mohit, who's joining us with more details on this. Well, Mohit, we can see the impact of India's strong-handed, iron-fisted measures. These are diplomatic measures. India has threatened this in the past. Now look at the outcome of this. This is going to bring Pakistan to its knees, despite the bluff and the bluster that they've been putting out. This is the reality.
Well, yes, in fact, India has put Indus Water Treaty in abeyance, and we know for a fact that how these pictures also show that how it has impacted since the treaty has been put on abeyance. And we also know for a fact that India has clearly stated that earlier it was talks and terrorism cannot go together, but this time around it's water and terrorism that cannot flow together. If Pakistan is indulging in cross-border terrorism, if Pakistan is training all these terrorists who are killing innocent civilians in the country, then water to Pakistan will be stopped. We also know for a fact that Indus Water Treaty is also very, very important for Pakistan, for their irrigation need and for their water supply need. And since we have seen India has put Indus Water Treaty in abeyance, various ministers from Pakistan, leaders, they have come out and they have said that it was a unilateral decision that is being taken by India, because they are clearly rattled, because that treaty is the lifeline of Pakistan when it comes to the specific regions in terms of water supply. Now, incidentally, this decision was being taken after the first CCS meeting, Meghna. After the first CCS meeting, after the Pahalgam attack, we saw the Foreign Secretary came out with a statement, and he clearly stated that Indus Water Treaty will be kept in abeyance. The visas for Pakistanis will be cancelled. Those who have come, they were given timeline to go back to their country. So today is the second CCS meeting. So we can again expect that major decisions could be taken after the first CCS meeting, as we were discussing that Indus Water Treaty was put in abeyance. So clearly we have to wait and watch what exactly will come out of this. But yes, it's an important meeting that is taking place, because we need to hit at Pakistan. And yesterday, as you were saying, Prime Minister, while meeting Defence Minister and other and the chiefs of the armed forces, CDS, clearly expressed his faith in the armed forces and their valor, and armed forces are given free hand to choose the timing target and where exactly they want to hit Pakistan, and the government has come out in complete support of our armed forces because remember, Meghna, political will when it comes to counter-terrorism measures, when it comes to dealing with a terrorist country like Pakistan is very important, and hence the political will is there. PM from the day one have stated that we are backing our forces. We are clearly saying that it's upon the forces that they can choose the timing, they can choose the target, and the political will, the political scrutiny is behind the armed forces, and hence we have to wait and watch what exactly will come out after the CCS meeting, after the Parliamentary Affairs meeting, after the CCES. So everything would be discussed in this particular meeting, and we have to wait and watch what exactly will come out of it.
Well, absolutely. We'll have to wait and watch. These are high-level meetings which are going to happen all through the day. We'll keep coming back to you, Mohit. Meanwhile, let's also tell our viewers, if there is an all-out war, as Pakistan clearly fears that there is, let's give you a strength, a man-to-man strength when it comes to the military strengths of the two nations, India and Pakistan. Let's first start with the strength of the army. India, remember, has the second largest army with about 14,55,550. When you compare this with Pakistan, which merely comes in around 6.5 lakh people in the armed forces. Moving on, let's also tell you about the Air Force. Indian Air Force, India has 2,229 aircraft with about 513 jets. Of course, of late, they have been empowered with the Rafale strength as well, which has been very core and critical in Operation Parakram, also exercises which are happening right now and are expected to play a key role when it comes to India's defense system. But when you look at Pakistan, it comes to around 1,399 aircraft with about 328 jets that Pakistan has of its own. Also, if you look at the amount of air power when it comes to the aerial tankers, India has 6 aerial tankers. When it comes to Pakistan, they have 4 aerial tankers. These are head-to-head counts that we are getting for you. Look at the Navy now. India has a blue water Navy. When it comes to Pakistan, they have a green water Navy. These are going to mean that India can operate beyond its shores, but when it comes to Pakistan, it can operate only within its state's littoral zones and cannot operate beyond its own zones. Meanwhile, India has 293 total warships. When it comes to Pakistan, it has a total number of 121 warships, much less than India, less than half of India. This, of course, is going to give you a sense of how we are going to be against Pakistan. But Pakistan, of course, understandably, perhaps because of this, has hit the panic button. In fact, after Prime Minister Modi gave a free hand to the forces, this was reported extensively by the Indian media, Pakistan seems to have gotten so jittery that their ministers are now mumbling and fumbling while formulating their own responses. In fact, after all, the hollow nuclear saber rattling, a minister is Pakistan is now preempting that India's military strike is going to happen very soon. Probably after getting all the nightmares about our response, Pakistan's information minister Ataullah Tarar has said that Indian military will strike within the next 24 to 36 hours. In fact, the Pakistani minister says that he has credible evidence about India all set to attack Pakistan. Listen in.
दूसरा, मैंने कहा यहाँ हमें एविडेंस दिखाएं कि ये दी रेजिस्टेंस फोरम ने, दी टीआरएफ ने किया है, तो फिर हम इसको रहने देंगे, या उनकी ओनरशिप दिखा दें कि इन्होंने एक मीडिया में चला भी दिया कि उन्होंने ओन कर लिया, वो झूठा था। नहीं, ये नहीं है। तो उस पे करीबन हमारे जी 2.5 दिन लगे। वी रिफ्यूज टू बज इन। मुझे बड़े बड़े कैपिटल से कॉलें आई कि देखें इस वक्त मैं जी नथिंग डूइंग, ये नहीं हो सकता, पाकिस्तान विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट। वो कहते हैं आप पे ब्लेम आएगा। मैंने कहा वी आर रेडी, बट प्लीज यू हैव टू पुट इन जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड हैव टू डिलीट दिस टीआरएफ। अल्लाह के फजल करम से जनाब चेयरमैन, पाकिस्तान के को ये मुबारक हो और आपको कि हमने वो दोनों चीजें अमेंड करके वो प्रेस रिलीज पे जारी हुई।
Well, it goes to show that Pakistan is right now scared. Dara hua mahol is what's prevalent in Pakistan. You have several of the ministers, you just heard one of them coming out and said that it's imminent that India is going to attack Pakistan. There are others who are coming out and roaring about how they were the ones who managed to get the name of TRF, the terror organization which is responsible for the Pahalgam attack, removed from the UNSC statement when they had condemned the Pahalgam attack, saying, yes, indeed, we were the ones who got the name of TRF scrapped, a terrorist organization who was not named and shamed because Pakistan is now a temporary member of the UNSC. In addition to that, what we have been getting for you are details of what next. What next for India? We've been getting you how there are series of meetings which have happened today, one after the other. But what has been the outcome of that on Pakistan? Well, listen in to yet another Pakistani minister resorting to bluff, bluster and fakery.
Pakistan has credible intelligence that India intends carrying out military action against Pakistan in the next 24 to 36 hours on the pretext of baseless and concocted allegations of involvement in the Pahalgam incident. India's self-assumed hubristic role of judge, jury and executioner in the region is reckless and vehemently rejected. Pakistan has been the victim of terrorism itself and truly understands the pain of this scourge. We have always condemned terrorism.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what comes out of the several high-level meetings which have been lined up across the day today. We'll keep getting you minute-by-minute updates. With that, a short break. Don't go anywhere. Siddharth joins you on the other side.